Welcome to Promote, Profit, Publish. I'm your host, Juliette Clark, and today we have another training, our free monthly training. Super excited about it. Joey's going to share some wonderful stuff with you. Since this is a training and there are slides, if you're someone who's more visual, this is going to be made into a podcast, and I invite you when we release it to go over to YouTube and watch it there if you want to see the slides and get the full effect of a training instead of just listening. I love to listen, but if there's some good stuff there that I want to see the documentation, I'll hop back over and look there. So before we get started, I want to tell you guys about something that I think you'll be super interested in. There is a new award, a book award, and my authors have been invited to participate in it. If your book is nonfiction and from 2020 forward, which I think everybody on the call is that falls into it. Terry, I think yours are there as well. You can go over to https hustleheartbooks.com. That's hustleheartbooks.com. Use the code SUPERBRAND and it'll give you 40% off of your entry fee. I think that brings it down to $72. But that's super exciting because not a lot of people know about it since it's the first year. So you can actually go over and get your book an award, which is always helpful in publishing it. And Terry, I know you didn't with me, but it's open to anybody. Just use the code, and they won't know the difference that you're not published or not with me. So I'm not really fussy about that. But go over. All of you guys have great nonfiction books. Get them in there and get yourself some awards so you can say, look at me, look at this book. It's fabulous. So anyway, again, hustleheartbooks.com, and the coupon code is SUPERBRAND. So today's guest is Joie Gharrity, and she is a brand consultant, video podcast content creator, author, and international speaker. With over 15 years of experience in Hollywood entertainment industry, she has worked at top companies in film, television, original web content, and branded entertainment. Joie was handpicked by the ABC studio president to launch the first multimedia startup business for the Walt Disney Company. I'm not going to go into all of this, but go ahead and take it away.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Julia, for having me today. I really appreciate you and everything you're doing out there in the marketplace, helping others to build lots and lots of influence, which is one of my favorite topics ever. I love to talk about it because I did work in Hollywood for years and I worked for major studios. And I also learned that I was being handed a whole lot of influence, right? Especially when you work for the Walt Disney Company, right? Everyone's going to return that phone call. And therefore, you're also beholden to the actual company itself. So a big part of my mission, my purpose, particularly for superstar women entrepreneurs out there, is for you all to build your own empire influence out there so that you're not beholden to any other brand out there than yourselves. So today I'm going to be talking about transforming influence into earnings. And just a little bit about what we're going to cover today is I'm going to be covering how to attract more of your ideal clients. We all love that, right? And influence really helps you do that. How to make more money with your business. We all like the Benjamins. How to differentiate yourself in your arena in the marketplace. So I'll be covering all those three. Just a little bit about my background, as Juliet had shared earlier before. I did work 15 plus years in the Hollywood entertainment industry. There's probably only about 1% of the globe that has actually done that. I worked for major studios and film, television, original web content, and branded entertainment. And branded entertainment is when I was handpicked one of six to do the first startup for the Walt Disney Company. And that propelled me into the online world, which became my freedom flag of me realizing that we can all build our own influence and not have to ask a big brand to do it for us. But I was handpicked by the ABC studio president, and the Walt Disney Company definitely paid attention because they knew that this online world, was going to take over, and it has, right? So today, much of the online world has become Hollywood. And I returned to the Bay Area. I launched Joie G113, and you can see it behind me here. And I'll share a little bit about that. I actually named my company after my first name and then the last initial, but the 113 is in homage to two of the major entrepreneur women globally, and one of them is Marilyn Monroe, and the other one is Coco Chanel. And it's my homage to both of those women because when Marilyn Monroe was asked what she wears to bed at night, she said, I only wear one thing, and that is Chanel number 5, right? And that literally put Coco Chanel into another influence category here in the United States. And so it just goes to show you how you can leverage your influence and make an impact. And they never met. The women, those two women never met, and yet they both catapulted to each other's brands. So I empower entrepreneurs through strategic brand, innovation marketing, media opportunities to increase visibility and influence because it's directly linked to your earning power. So my mission today is to amplify your visibility influence so that you can make more money. So here's a little bit about my personal journey, and people ask me all the time why I left Hollywood. One is because I was hiding in the shadows and I was making everyone else a star. I was absolutely working myself into the ground and it was impacting my health. There's a lot of pressure there. And what I realized is that the studios were loaning me their influence and I didn't have any of my own. I was in service to the industry. So I set intention to grow my own influence. And I also set intention to do that because I wanted to be my own studio and grow my own influence so I can lend it to others. And we're going to be talking about how that's being of service. So growing your influence is actually a good thing. It's a way that you can be of service to others out there because you can lend it to others out there, just like the studio systems do for us. That's really how they're building major brands out there is they're just lending their influence out. So you can do the same. So since I've been mastering my influence, this is what's happened for me. My online reach is 1.1 million right now. My Facebook group has 11,000 members, and I have over 1,000 members waiting to get in right now. I'm an international speaker. I've launched 2 books. I created a digital hub that includes video podcasts, digital magazines, ebooks, and virtual swag bags. I'm asked repeatedly to be featured guest on video podcast shows, and I'm featured guest on magazines and in magazines, and I'm in Juliet's magazine as well. So, um, so I'm really, really passionate about this because it is my mission. I truly believe that is why the universe had me down in Hollywood for 15 plus years, is because they wanted me to learn from masters how to grow my visibility and influence. I went down very young, and I had mentors who took me underneath their wing and who taught me their tips and their tricks of how they were growing their influence. And also too to take the sting out of it. I think that influence out there and gets a bad rap. And I'm not really sure why. And I'm like, no, influence is a good thing, right? So I'm going to start with my number one signature strategy of how you can build more influence out there. And and I do this with my digital hub, my content creators in my digital hub. And this is how we've been also growing the YouTube channel is I want you to start tagging community leaders, clients, and potential customers in your shares out there and your social media shares out there. Why? Because it's a great way to honor them, first of all, right? But also, you immediately are going to be building trust and influence in their backyards, right? Nothing will build your influence and your network faster than tagging someone else of influence out there. So, for instance, on my shows, right? And I have all my digital hub content creators do this is we pre-market the show, we tag the future guest, right? Because only do interview shows, right? The day of the show, we tag the featured guest, right? We replay the show, we tag the featured guest. We create our show, we turn our shows into blog posts. Guess what we're doing? We tag the featured guest again. So we're tagging them over and over and over again. So what do you think's happening in their backyard? They're like, who's this Joie? Why is she? I mean, clearly, maybe she's someone I should get to know because she is she's spotlighting and she's tagging someone that I already know, like, and trust. And so it builds your network very, very quickly. And it's also being very generous with your influence, right? Because I'm also leveraging my influence, right, and my online 1.1 with my featured guest. And it's my way of honoring someone else and lending my influence just like a major Hollywood studio would do, right? And so this is a really great way, guys, of building your influence quickly, right? Because I don't like slow burns, right? Um, it's also great for face recognition. Face recognition plays a major role in boosting your brand reach and earning power in today's marketplace. I will walk into rooms and not know someone, and people will walk over to me, introduce me because they know me, right? Because they've seen my face enough, right? One, because I'm tagging, right? And also my digital hub, which is a very, very unique hub, content creators is we also part of our mission is we also share each other's shows. So you can imagine how many different networks we're in there as well. So face recognition, ladies, please, please do more of that. And I'm going to talk about other ways that you can create face recognition for yourself and not have to do a video podcast necessarily, even though I do encourage you to do one, right? Because video podcasting, again, that will grow your influence very, very quickly. So it's just a great way to really familiarize yourself with people out there, to let them see your face over and over and over and over again, right? It's a way to build your trust. And while building a ground floor network in the community is really important, and I love community, it can be a slow burn and it can be really disappointing. And you don't want to spend years and years and years building influence, right? So instead, take my signature strategies and really accelerate your growth out there and your visibility and influence, and make sure that you reach out to me and tell me what's happening for you while you're doing that, because I'm always very curious of how you guys are seeing it, how it's impacting for you guys. Do you guys have any questions on this? Any ahas? Any feedback that you'd like to share? I love it to be interactive, by the way. I love everything to be interactive. I love community. I love emotional connections. Anyone, anything? Are you guys willing to, have you guys been tagging?
Yeah, I tag a lot, and we don't need to cry for you. You said you want emotional connection, right? How about you guys? Raise your hand. Do you tag? Okay. Terry, I noticed you didn't. Do you know how? Oh, you're muted, hon.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know how. I just never uh thought about it and I never and I don't my podcast show is rarely interviewing somebody. And so I haven't I'm sitting here listening to you, Joey, and I'm thinking what excuse can I use for tagging somebody when my social media post is it might be promoting my book, or it might be promoting my latest podcast show, or it might, because I also put out a lot of inspirational messages.
Oh, that's nice.
So, how do I figure out who to tag?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I do is, and I do solo shows too for my big Facebook group. I do a weekly solo as a bonus perk for them. And what I do is when I know that the topic is in alignment with someone in the community, I'll tag them. And my way of highlighting and spotlighting them and thanking them for being part of my community, right? So if you have a hot topic, for instance, and you ever do a solo show on visibility influence, tag me, right? So I look at the topic headers, and I know a lot of people in the arena. And so when I'm looking at certain things out there and I know that someone's really into like they'll be into ebooks, let's say, or they have an ebook out there, right? I'll tag them there, and I'll also do a spotlight on them too. Spotlighting's fantastic. I love doing it. I learned how to do it in Hollywood. That is the end credits of every single movie, right? I've been in a few of those, right? And it's a way of honoring and recognizing other people. And so I've taken that same signature, and so I'll create an entire spotlight on someone. And people sometimes I don't even know just because I like what they're doing out there. Christy, did you have something you wanted to share, sister?
I was wondering, do you tag on all the social medias? or do
Yes.
you tag on ones that are specific to your audience?
No, I tag on all of them.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have a really quick little Hollywood story. So when I worked in Hollywood, and I lived in Hollywood. And so, but I would meet people down at the Beverly Hills Hotel a lot. And I would start driving from Sunset in Highland, and as I was driving down towards Beverly Hills Hotel, I'd look to the, it's just billboards everywhere. I look to the right, it'd be like Mission Impossible, and then I look to the left, Mission Impossible, and we get, I mean, on every single corner, right? So by the time we all got to Beverly Hills Hotel and we sat down and had a cocktail, what were we all talking about? Right? Mission Impossible. And so what that really helped me to understand is that I look at social media like billboards, right? And I don't get caught up in if I'm going to bore people or over inundate them. First of all, you can't in today's marketplace, especially with the algorithms, right? But I don't get caught up in that. Instead, I look at social media. And so when I do a post, I use the same billboard post on every single social media, right? Because if I don't catch it here, I'm going to catch it here. And I want you to see it 3 times. I would love it if you saw it 6 times, because then you'll be talking about Joie Gharrity, not Mission Impossible, right? So it makes sense? Good, 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 good. Hey, Carol, so glad you're here, sister. So let's talk about my next signature. So I would love for you guys, take a picture or just jot this down or keep this in your memory here. I want you to identify 3 individuals you plan on tagging today, because I wanted to start becoming like a second skin and just natural for you. At first, it felt very uncomfortable for me, but with time, I'd only think twice, and I'm kind of known for it now, right? And so, 3 individuals who you're going to tag, make sure that they have some leadership. And I'm going to encourage you guys to tag Juliet and I that you were here today, right? Get into our backyards, right? Let people know that you know us. It's not a bad thing to do, okay? So hopefully you'll make us 1 and 2 and then pick a third person, okay? So the second strategy here is the repetition, right? The billboard, right? Repetition. So I share the same image per premiere share each week, and I'm going to show you how I do it in a minute. And I'm drawing this from the billboard experience I just shared with you. So think about it like this. Humans can watch the same commercial over and over and over again. And have you ever heard someone say to you in a room, "Oh my God, I'm so sick of this Colgate commercial. So sick of it. Can't watch it again." No, no, because it's in our DNA, literally in our DNA, right? To want to see things repetitively over and over and over again. It's a way that people by recognizing you, it will increase your trustability out there in the marketplace, right? And so I want you to choose 1 to 3 different consistent posts a week that align with your brand's message. And this is how you're going to build more influence. Okay. It's going to take courage. And I'm talking about why in a minute. And I want you to post the same day in the same theme, and the same imagery, and the same time. Why do you think I'm asking you guys to post the same day and the same time? What are you guys really doing by doing that? What are you guys really doing? Yes, 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 Terry.
Yeah, you're hitting the same people because those are the people who are on there at that time.
Yes, that's very, very true. That's an excellent point, Terry. I'm going to add that. Yes, that is an excellent point. And there's another reason too why we want to hit the same day and same time, because we want to train the marketplace, training them. Okay. The marketplace is very trainable. Okay. We want people to be expecting. So my video podcast is every Thursday at 8 a.m., right? And I am there at 8 a.m. Okay, right? And I am posting at 8 a.m., right? And my other one about marketing now is every Wednesdays at 7 a.m., right? And so I'm training the marketplace to say, here comes Joey, here comes Joey, here comes Joey. What do you guys think happens? What if I didn't post on Thursday at 8 a.m.? What do you think has happened to me? What do you think starts happening? It's crazy, by the way, because you don't think people are watching you, they're watching, right? I get all these Facebook DMs. Joey, are you okay? Are you feeling okay? Are you sick? Is everything okay? I'm just checking in, right? I start getting phone calls from people, close friends. Yes, yes. Human beings like like repetitive, they like structure, they like systems, right? And so they like, so if you're not there and you've been training them, right, that's how you'll know that it's actually working, right? So don't post one day and see what happens next. So I want you to do that. And then I want you to be consistent in imagery and build the same brand recognition over and over and over again. It will impact your sales and your client loyalty. It will, because they'll recognize your face recognition and they'll recognize the brand. Here's just my 2 cents. Social media managers can do anything they want out there, but I'm not a fan of social media managers telling people that you need to change your imagery constantly. I think that's actually a mistake, and I think it's sabotage because people don't recognize it, right? And it's also a nightmare, and it's a headache, and it's time, energy, and money. Okay, so here is my brand imagery, right? And I think you're going to see a theme here with me, right? And so every single Tuesday, I come out with a weekly blog every Tuesday, right? And that drops at 7 a.m. on every Tuesday, and it's always this imagery. The only thing I ever change is I change my quote because I want this quote to resonate with the blog post that I'm doing. I have a did you know? And this is my way of letting people into my more of my layers of my brand and who I am. And so I share a lot about I love Golden Gate Park. I share a lot of more personal stuff of who I am because I want people to get to know me on a more personal level. And then you'll see my video podcast show and you can see Juliet here, right? And you can see how I have an overall look for my brand, right? So this is letting people into who I am and my essence of who I am and how I'm doing this. And so every single Wednesday is a did you know? Every single Thursday, my video podcast my content creation looks like that. And every single Tuesday, my blog looks like that. Okay. So do you guys have a consistent, not just look of your brand, but consistent image that you guys are using repetitively over and over and over again? Okay. And if you don't, I want you to pick one. I'd like for you to pick three, but I want you to pick one. Yes, Carol.
I have one that I've used, and it has a sailboat for Life Change Navigator. Do I need to have my picture with that as well? And is your picture with every single one?
Yeah. Yeah, because you want face recognition. If you don't have face recognition, don't bother. Don't bother. It's just such a slow burn,
Mhm.
right? I want people to recognize you when you walk into a gallery. I can tell you're an artist. You want people to recognize you when you walk into your Starbucks. We want you guys when you fly out to an event, we want people to recognize you, right? Because that's how you build the visibility and the influence component. That's how you can close sales and your earning power faster and quicker. Does anyone else here have a question, or have you all put your picture into your billboard? Yes,
Can
good.
can I just mention something, Joey? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. For many years I hid behind the branding without the picture. And for all of you, I know all of you on this call, you are the face of your company. Once I pulled out from behind that corporate hiding, as I called it, and got my picture on everything, things really picked up because people did recognize me. They recognized my branding. So it is definitely something. Use your pretty faces. You're all pretty ladies. So use it.
Yes, so I just did a photo shoot with one of my VIP clients who's launching a book, and I produced the shoot. Because why? Because she knows from working with me, face recognition is the top priority, right? So not only did we do the cover of the book, which by the way is going to be fabulous, but we did a whole lifestyle shoot so that we can pick the billboard components, right? And she can use them over and over and over again. I put myself on the second cover, my second book on the cover. Did this take courage? Heck yeah, it did. Do you think I wanted to do this? No, no, but I have to walk my talk, right? And it was the best decision I made, right? It takes courage to put yourself on the cover. It just does, right? We grow up in a media society that tells us if you are not Heidi Klum, if you're not a certain type of look, then you're not pretty. And let's be honest, that is the way it works out there, right? And so I really dug deep and I'm so glad I did this. This was one of the best decisions I made, and I will continue. I'm dropping another book, and guess what? I'll be on the cover again. It's something to consider, right? She will be on the cover of her book, right? And I want to say this too, sisters, courage, right? She is just turned 67 years old, and she's going to be on the cover of her book, and she's going to be fabulous, right? And what are we doing by being courageous? We're opening doors for others to do the same. So you're being of service, and she's being of service out there. So anytime that you need a little oomph and courage, just remember it's about being of service first, okay? So yes, so billboards. Let's do billboards, okay, guys? And be interesting and give value. Always give value behind everything you do. So here's something I'd love for you guys to do and identify the image you will be using consistently, right? Start with one, work up the courage, right? I'm at three. So probably by the end of the year, I'll be at eight, right? Decide the day of the week you'll post this image and what it's going to represent for you. Is it going to be a blog? Is it going to be about your book? Is it going to be, it has to have value, right? And then plan the theme and caption for those posts, right? And so I plan months ahead so that way I don't get in my own way, right? So does everyone have something weekly you're already posting anyways? Like every week you're doing it, like a blog post, or I know that Terry does inspiration. Terry, do you do your image with your inspirational post yet?
No, but as I'm listening, I'm visualizing, because my the inspirational message is on a photograph, some kind of an image, and it takes up all the space. So I'm visualizing, giving to my social media manager, you know, getting a new picture, an up-to-date picture of myself, and getting rid of the background on that, and just plunking me down the corner of that inspirational message.
Okay. Well, listen, here's the thing. You got to start in baby steps, right? And so if you want to put yourself down in the corner this big and that's the step one, I applaud that because the next step will be bigger and the next step will be the whole thing with the inspirational on it. Okay? So
Well,
just do what's
it's a
comfortable
matter
for
of
you.
trying to fit both.
Yeah, just do what's ever comfortable for you, okay? And I always tell my clients this too. I always tell my VIP clients, I said, listen, God bless other people who have quotes out there. God bless them. I mean, Abraham Lincoln does not need any more influence from us. Everyone knows who Abraham Lincoln is. I'm like, if you have your own quotes, I'm like, only use your own, right? Because they already have enough influence, right? Oprah has enough influence. She doesn't need us to share her quotes anymore. Yes. Yes, Linda.
Oh, you're muted
Oh,
there, Karen.
so I'm thinking that in addition to deciding what day, you're going to decide what time to post these.
Yeah, so go ahead and just go into ChatGPT, right? And ask what time would be good for you Monday through Friday. And ChatGPT, because they know my brand so well, literally told me what times were the best times for me.
Oh.
And just on a side note, Saturdays are a great time to share, particularly on Facebook. It has the best algorithms. Okay, very good. Awesome. So all right. So we're gonna play the same day at the same time. And also like it keeps you consistent, it keeps you honest, right? You're gonna do it, right? Right. And here's my final signature strategy I'm going to share with you guys today is your visibility influence is literally directly linked to your earning power. So I ask my clients all the time, I ask them, I said, where do you think your influence is? And they'll say a three or a four. And I'm like, that's where your earning power is right now. And so if you're at a three or a four or a five, where do we want you to be? At an eight and nine and 10, right? And it takes a minute to build it, right? But it goes a lot faster, right? When you're using the imagery, when you're using your face recognition, when you're tagging other people, right? So think about yourself like you're a Hollywood studio, right? The more influence you build, the more you can lend it to others, right? And so for me, that's a really important aspect of all this, right? That's given me a lot of courage because I know the Disney way so well. Because you have to go through like little Disney University when you get there. And so they really teach you the culture. And what was Walt really doing? He's still lending his influence to others. That's what he's really doing. That's really building legacy, right? So this is your opportunity to build a bigger legacy by building a bigger visibility influence. And as you're building this, you will find a wider audience. What I realize is sometimes it can get really easy to get stuck in your own backyard and you're just churning in the same backyard. That's not building a wider net. The wider net is how you're going to call in your ideal clients. It's how you're going to make more money, right? Because at some point you're going to burn out your backyard. You're going to have worked with everyone, right? At some point, right? Go to the same networks, right? There's going to be a point when you've worked with most of the people in the room, right? And so this gives you a wider net, which is good, which elevates your earning power out there. And it's something to take really, really seriously. I literally wake up every day and I'm like, how can I build more influence today? Every single day. And how can I be of service? And that really gives me the courage. So let's identify 3 ways you can lend your influence and be of service to someone else in your community. I already shared with you one way is I spotlight other people, right? I like to spotlight people. It makes me happy. It builds community. It's emotional connection for me, right? And so that's one way where I'm lending it to other people, right? Another way I'm lending it is I'm building a YouTube channel out, right? And so in about a year, I have over 10,000 subscribers so that I can lend that YouTube channel to other people who can sit on my prime real estate, right? Right. And then another way is I have a digital magazine just like Juliet, right? But what I do with it is I take my video podcast content creators and I make sure that I spotlight them in there as well, right? So there's multiple ways where you're always layering out how you can be of service to others. So I really want you guys to think, how are you going to lend your influence and then do it? And you will see there will be so much love for you because people support those that support them. That is just how it works out there in the marketplace, right? And so I do have this special offer if you want to work with me, right? It's like I help you to identify, to really, I come up with a strategy, and then I, of course, send it over in a blueprint for you. And I'll also be sharing the link in the chat area there. Please take advantage of it. And I love my client too. She's like, I'm crushing hard on Joey. I thought that was such a cute testimonial. Yeah, and Toby's fantastic too. So do you guys have any questions or any ahas that you'd like to share?
I've been lately brainstorming how to create a master class out of my expertise. And I'm like, so what can I offer to, um, you know, that people benefit? So before they pay that much money, there's still that exclusive offer was something that, was a strategy that I wanted to learn more about.
Yeah, so basically, I like emotional connection. I just know thyself really well, and it's really important that I emotionally connect with people first. So I offer an exclusive offer so I can get to know someone first. And then as I'm creating a deeper professional relationship with them, then I can go back to them and say, hey, you'd be really great, in my video content creator hub, for instance, or that kind of thing. This is my way of first getting to know someone on a deeper level. That's just how I'm built. I know other people out there, they don't need to know who they're working with. It doesn't matter to them. That's just how they're built, right? But probably because of my Hollywood background and always pulling back the red curtain, right? Right? Because you had to be really careful down there, right? That's probably why that's how I am now. And so, and also too, for me, because of Hollywood too, I tend to make all my clients friends. Because down there, everyone, even your lawyers are your best friends. You travel with them, right? Your agents, you travel with people, right? Because that's who you're with. And so that's the culture I've built. But yes, an exclusive offer would be great for you, Terry. Anything else, any other ahas or any shares or anything you'd like to ask anyone? Are you guys going to build your visibility influence next level? Yeah,
So I
good.
wanted to mention that in October, on the 23rd, I started hosting an internet radio show, which is video as well as audio. And it's like a weekly video blog, right? And people have started to reach out to me. I had an agent ask me if his client could be on my show.
Oh yeah,
That really excited me. And
yeah.
then I had someone, I'm doing a chapter for a book, but I had someone else ask me to interview me. And I feel like my visibility is really growing. And it's very exciting.
Yeah, nothing will grow faster than the video podcast. Nothing. Yeah. I would say in 1 year, I would say my influence has quadrupled since my video podcast launch, right? Yeah, yeah, Julia.
So what I was going to say too is, if you're in a position as your influence is growing and you are in different places, one of the things that I do really effectively is this week I put two of my clients together to pod swap. So if you already have a video platform or a podcast, be that connector, because I did it. No expectations. They're going to have a great show. But what happened next was one of my other clients came back and said, I mentioned you on a podcast I was on. He would like an introduction. So now I'm booked for somebody I didn't even know yesterday. So kind of be that connector person as well with your influence, because you'll be shocked at how quickly it comes back to you. Like, karma's a great thing. I'm a total believer in karma. Just connect freely and you'll be amazed at the people that show up in your world because you connected them with someone at some point.
So true. Be a super connector. I mean, we're not born super connectors. I think I think you have to learn it. I think it's a learned behavior, right? Because we kind of are in a community that's a lot of I's. I. We's, you will fly, soar higher and higher, higher, faster and faster, faster when you're a we. That that's what I think. I mean, I know it. I know that to be true because that's what's happened for me. But yeah, I totally agree. But yeah, visibility and influence directly linked to your earning power. You will get more ideal clients. You will make more money. You will get more opportunities that will blow your mind that you haven't even dreamt about because people are like, I want to rub shoulders with her. I want to sit down at a table with her. Therefore, I will offer her an opportunity, right?
Yeah. I have a question for you because with podcasts, I've always, I was on podcasts when they were just starting out. And I don't know that anybody watched them. Is it they're watching them because you have posted them on social media? Because otherwise, you could do podcasts, and I know for a fact no one sees it.
Yeah, so
So
what we
what do you
do
do?
is, well, we're very unusual, this hub, because my culture is that we have to share each other's shows. So you can imagine we're all sharing, like in one day, everyone's sharing your show everywhere, right? But also too, I only let people in the hub that will do interview format, so we can tag people, and then we're sharing it on our social media, right? And we're sharing the direct link that is pushing people back to the YouTube channel. I think that's a big reason why the YouTube channel subscribers jumped, right? So it really is social media too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to comment on that too. Carol, we just released an episode, I think 2 weeks ago, with Tracy Hazard and I. Podcasting, people are moving away from the mainstream media. Everybody's listening to podcasts, YouTube videos, things like that. If you look at the demographics of the mainstream media now, they are getting a very small slice of the key demographic numbers at so low that they're getting dots. Joey will know what I'm talking about. When they get the ratings out, if they're under 50,000 listeners in a demographic, they get, I believe it's dots or slashies, it's slashies. And while you may feel like nobody's listening now, I think you'll see a big shift from when you were even on it in 2020, 2021. People are so fed up with the mainstream media that now they get all of their news from alternative sources. they figured out that the mainstream media is just absolutely been propagandizing them. So I would go into that. If you get the opportunity to book a tour or something like that, I would do it because that's where people are putting their time and attention now.
Yeah, and just make sure it's a video podcast for Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, audio's over. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of passe already. You know what I mean? So it's like everyone, because on YouTube, they're listening while they're listening, even because you got to think about this too. You know, a lot of people are watching at work,
Yeah.
right? So what they're doing is, right, is they either have their earbuds in and they're listening even though the video's running, right? Or they have the video on with all the captions, right? And so they've done quite a few studies on this. But yeah, video podcasting is like it's I just feel like it's just coming into a whole different arena right now. I was just at Podfest and I mean, it's an exciting time, right? Because to Juliet's point, the Super Bowl is going to have problems. The Oscars, people are not tuning in like they used to, right? People want free. They don't want to deal with commercials anymore, right? And so where are they going? And no platform is bigger than YouTube. There's not a bigger platform than YouTube. They're doing all the work for you, so you might as well leverage it. It's free, right? Yes, Terry.
Can I jump in on that? I recently started making shorts out of my longer podcasts and talk about, the face recognition being repeated. You can get several shorts out of one and just publish one short a day. And those shorts get so much attention. I mean, the numbers just of viewers skyrocket compared to the long version, but then, the short links to the long version.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah, we're going into a really interesting time right now with media, right? So might as well be the star because you can. You don't have to ask permission anymore, right? You can just literally build your own influence, right? And then leverage that influence and do it as many different ways as you want. Do video podcasts, do shorts, right? I'm still a huge believer in blog posts. Blogs are not passe. Like blogs are still a relevant media media piece out there. And what's great about it is you can do all these hot links in them. And then you can take them back to your Amazon or to your Benable or back to your playlist, right? It's a great way that you can tag people in there, right? So then you're in their backyard too. So I'm still a huge fan of blogging.
Yeah, I'm going to add to that. We have a blog with ours as well. There are a couple tools out there that you can put your video in and get it made into a blog, or take the transcript and make it in yourself. If you go to TurboScribe, I believe it's turboscribe.ai, you can do up to 3 videos a day and it'll give you the transcription. So I don't even wait anymore. I don't pay for it. It's all free, up to 3 a day. And if you really want to gain some traction on your YouTube channel by putting chapters and stuff in, Video Tap is a great one to look at, because you put your video in and it breaks down the chapters for you. It breaks down keywords. I mean, it is incredible. And I've been waiting, I'm paying $27 a month for it, but I've been waiting for AppSumo to make it come up again where you get a lifetime deal. So, if you really want to use something like that, go grab that version. I have an affiliate link if you want to reach out and get it from me. But if you get it, pay that monthly until it comes back on AppSumo, and you can get a lifetime deal. Because that's what I do with most things, is I'll try it out with the monthly, and then I want to see if I can get a lifetime deal, because you guys all
I
know,
love
as internet marketers, that monthly starts adding up.
it's true.
It is. Anybody else have a question for Joie before we go?
Well, I love you, I love you, I love you, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for the time, Juliet. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all. It makes, and I do have a quote, and it's like, it's literally your birthright to stand in your spotlight and grow your influence and earning power out there. So go for it.
Oh,
Thanks
that's
so
amazing.
much. A
Thank
very
you.
wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Before you guys all go, I want to let you know we are upping our training game this year. And later this month on the 20th, we have a Go High Level training. We are starting to do those every month because if you're not using Go High Level, you're spending too much time doing other things. So we are starting to put those trainings together so people understand how to use them. The first one's on the 20th. They're with Rebecca Bertoldi, who has an agency. And so she's going to, I will tell you, when I switched from what I was using to Go High Level, I saved $400 a month because I was able to get rid of my MailChimp. I was able to get rid of Issue. There were so many things I was able to get rid of because it's a one size fits all. In March, Rebecca has a Go High Level training again. She's going to be doing, I believe, social media. But we also have Anthony Jones from the magazine on March 7th. He's going to be doing a Level Up Your LinkedIn, Build a Magnetic Personal Brand that attracts clients in 2025. You can sign up for that at bamagtraining.com. And then March 18th, we have a coaching panel. And for those of you who don't know Gretchen Heido, she was our speaker last month. She was incredible. She's going to be on the panel. Anthony Jones is going to be on that panel for LinkedIn, and Rebecca Bertoldi again. And you can sign up for that at revenuerumble.com. So if you don't have anything to do because you're all business owners, and I know you sit around and do nothing all day, okay, join us for some trainings. All right, is that it? Questions about the trainings? Grab Joey's offer over here, and hopefully we'll see you guys maybe the 20th, and if not the 20th, next month.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank
Julia.
you, guys.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Appreciate you guys. Bye.